Hello, all of our wonderful seedlings, and welcome to the Seed Group Podcast. Yay! I'm Carla.
Yeah, I'm Seymour. Norman.
I'm Albert. If you need any of our musical services, call 708-351-0333. And tonight, Carla, we have a special guest, the lady in black with the hat.
Ta-da.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well,
The person in the middle.
before we introduce our wonderful special guest, we would be remiss without mentioning our amazing producer, Marcus. Hello, Marcus.
Hey,
Marcus.
And sir, carry on about our wonderful guest.
This young lady is considered a poet. She has a company called Poetry in Motion.
Well, it was Poetry in Motion, but it is now Artistic Innovations.
Oh yeah, I forgot to change
Oh,
it.
nice.
And
Thank you.
her name is Terra. She's a DJ at WGVE in Gary, Indiana.
88.7 FM.
There you go. And she's a, what you call it? A black cowboy and a buffalo soldier. What do you do with them?
Just call me a multi-generational, multi-cross-generational, multi-artist generational, multi-generational.
What she said.
I'm just kidding. Well, yes, actually what he's speaking of, I am one of the buffalo soldiers of the 9th and 10th Horse Cavalry.
I mean, she rides a horse.
Awesome.
I haven't been on a horse in a long time, so I just wear the uniform and walk with everybody else and make it look good, that's all. No,
Well,
seriously, I represent Kathy Williams, the only female buffalo soldier historically.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
That
That is wonderful.
Well,
So I have a question. My question is, how did you get into DJing?
how did I get into DJing?
Being this not really DJ. How'd you get to be this wonderful radio personality?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh.
means you.
Well, I have been doing radio for like at least a good 4 years or so now.
Really?
It's like the time has just flown past me. I'm thinking it's going closer to 5, and the opportunity actually just kind of fell in my lap because actually I am an artist, a cross-genre artist, so to speak, because I'm a recording artist, but I'm a spoken word artist, but I'm a writer overall. And I was actually, when I moved to the Gary area a little over 7 years ago, and I was thinking, hey, I don't think they have anybody doing poetry on the radio out here. So my idea was just, sit in on somebody's segment and maybe, share some of my writings. But the first person I presented it to, let's just call them the other radio station. So that they seemed like they were a bit afraid of that because they weren't used to anybody doing that in the area. So someone said, hey, have you checked out WGVE? I'm like, I don't even know where that is. So, but she told me. I went there. I presented the idea to the station manager, and at the time it was Clarence Stevens, who's he has a show called Blues You Can Use, and he's been in the music business for quite a while himself. So he's definitely familiar with with the blues guys, and you definitely are familiar with that. But I told him, he said, well, I don't have a place for you right now. And I'm like, I was like, okay, cool. Funny thing about it, instead of me just leaving then, we got to chit-chatting, talk about different things. And I ended up sharing some of my poetry with him. And he said, hold that thought. Pick up the phone, call someone. He said, hey, I think and he's kind of giving me the side look while he's making this phone call. And he had the person on speakerphone. I don't think they realized it at the time. But he said, hey, I think I found a co-host for you. He said, and I'm going to say it was Uncle Buck. What up, Gordo? He said, that's what you said last time. He said, well, I don't think she's going to abandon you. So And it's like he's asking me after he already put it out there and hung up the phone and said, "So, how you feel about being a co-host?" And I'm like, sure. I'm like, okay. My head is, I kind of felt myself getting ready to say no, but this voice in the back of my head was like, "You better not say no. You better not say no." So, so I went for it. But it was like the first couple of weeks we could never get together. So I'm thinking I'm going to be interviewed by Uncle Buck, who I end up being a co-host with. But we can never get together for 2 weeks. And then at 2 or 3 weeks, and then when it finally did happen, he said, "So you ready to do the show?" I'm like, "What? You mean today?" He's like, "Yeah, that's why you're here, aren't you?" I'm like, okay, right. So talk about on the spot interview. So it's like, and I've been there ever since. But I definitely have to thank Uncle Buck and Clarence Stevens, because Clarence Stevens, I definitely didn't know anything about radio doing it. I've been on it a few times, but being, working the board and the engineering and all that other stuff, I knew none of that. Clarence taught me the ropes. Uncle Buck, he gave me the opportunity to spread my wings. So, and not only did I do the show with him for like 3+ years, but about, I'm going to say 6 months, but it's always, why is it 6 months? Mm-hmm. So, that's always 6 months. So anyway, it run that time frame. I got my own show. So now I have my own show on the same day, but later in the day on the same station, WGVE, which is called Artistic. Didn't I just pronounce my own show name incorrectly? It's Artist Cafe. So I have my own show called Artist Cafe. Every now and then I pop up on some of the other DJ shows and hang out with them. And it's been really fun. I mean, I've definitely enjoyed it. And it seemed like every time I try to leave, I get phone calls, I get text messages. Why you wasn't on tonight? What you doing? What happened to you? So it's like, I know that people are listening, people are paying attention. And it's like, sometimes I'll get a message, "You going on tonight, right?" Mm-hmm. So it's like, so it's like, because I think somebody over here did that to me recently. I was talking about taking a leave of absence. Then I get a phone call. So, Albert called me. He's kind of concerned about you. "What's going on with you, Terra?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" "Well, so he heard me say you plan on taking a leave of absence." I'm like, "Really?" Yeah. So
she has a lot of people that really love her.
Well,
also, those people are going to be at her art show because she's also a prolific artist.
Yes.
She didn't tell you about all that. The radio show, she did an interview for us on the radio, which she hasn't copied yet, but she's going to get it to us. But she also has the art show coming.
Well, the art show, and it actually will be my first art show, because a lot of people didn't know that I'm also into photography. And I've been doing some photography for like forever. So, and it's always been a passion of mine, but it's been more of a hobby. So it's like, you know what? It's time to do something with all these photos instead of them just clogging up my phone and my computer. And I have a pouch full of flash drives. And my son say, "So Mom, I can get one of those, right?" Nope. So you don't need that, right? But I finally decided to do something with photos, and I put them out there. And I'm actually working on adding a sculpture to it too. And one of my fellow artist friends say, "When did you start doing sculptures?" Other people's like, "You do photography too?" Yeah, I guess I have to thank my dad for that, So my father,
I was just laughing. Her dad is one of my mentors when I was younger. And when she told me her dad was, and she's with, what's that, Dunmore Music? Joe?
Yes.
She's with Dunmore Music, and it tickled me because I said, I know them.
It's really funny because he called me one day because Mr. Dunmore of Dunmore Music referred him to me. We didn't speak at that time. And then someone else I know with Tom Yo gave him a number, told him to call me. And then he was like, "Is this the same person? There's different numbers, but is this the same person?" And when he called me, and then he found out he knows my father too from like way back in the day. It's like, wow, small world. So, but it's been a blast. Albert, I've had so much fun with him. He's even renamed one of my friends Taz. And you all had him on the show.
And it is stuck in my head. I cannot get that name out of my head now. Whenever I think of him, I call him Taz.
He said the same thing too. He said, "Oh God, now
he's owning up to it now because I was cracking jokes on my show and stuff, and
I was having fun.
Gregory, he's on this side, sitting just like and he's over there just falling over laughter, and then Albert looks over and says, "Uh-oh, we lost Taz." So, and he just falls out even harder. So it's like, I was like, I
wanted to mention one more thing before we let it go. Are you still with the Buffalo Soldier? Are you guys sponsoring that rodeo? When is that? July?
Well, actually, they're not doing a rodeo this year. We're not doing it this year, but the Buffalo Soldiers will be in the 79th Street Parade with Alderman David Moore, which I believe is on the 28th, May 28th, I think. And then also there's plans for us to be in the one that the city has, the city of Chicago downtown. Okay. So, and I was grateful. I did have the opportunity to be in the parade just before the pandemic, and it was awesome. It's pretty cool, going past waving at the people like you're celebrities. Yes. Everybody take your pictures and stuff. You flatter.
Hey, Carl. I know we gotta go, but I want her to do me one more thing before she leaves. Just real quick, be a sexy radio voice. She's got one like you.
You know what's funny? As we speak, Sam Chapman is actually playing a piece of mine on his show tonight. And he says, I heard that and I absolutely love it. And I said, well, Big Papa did that, recorded that in the studio. He said, well, it's mine now and I'm playing it everywhere. So I'm like, okay. So, I do this thing. And I've heard this about you too, Miss Carla, because they said, so it's like, you are listening to WGVE on 88.7 FM. This is your girl, Poetry in Motion, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. And just remember, peace, love, lipstick.
There you go, baby.
With that, I love that she came. I'm so happy that she made it. But we gotta go because they're trying to kick us out.
I enjoy being here.
Well, we have to have you back to talk about your music.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. I would love to be back. So yes, I do have some new music coming out. Because like I said, I am a recording artist. So be on the lookout for Poetry in Motion, the album. And you should expect it early June of this year.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I also I have a book of that as well. And if there's any authors out there, I also have an authors event to spotlight the authors. It's called the Authors Read. Yes. So that's what I'm about. I like spotlighting other artists. So, but I appreciate you guys having me here. It's been big fun.
Now, some of y'all may be wondering if it's true, but it is true. She is human.
Yeah, she is human. Bet you that stalker. But we won't talk about that. Carla, you got it. I'm sorry.
He just brought up my stalker.
You got it, Carla, because they're knocking on the door.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up and say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate you. We're looking forward to having you back. Yes. And to our wonderful, beloved Seedlings, as usual, thank you for sticking with us. And for our new viewers, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is love. Yes. And we will see you all next time on the Seed Group Podcast. And remember, plant a seed and watch it grow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.